Hi, how are you? My name is Amy. I am a cat with a tail interrupted. That's right, a bobtail interrupted. I got a tail interrupted, tail interrupted, tail interrupted, tail interrupted. So, um, it was Friday, and now it is early in the morning of Saturday. And who do we have here? Jacquelina Uberbina. Oh, I love my little ballerina. That's Jacquelina. And that is a feather boa, and it's green, but you can't tell. And all these times that I keep saying, but I'm so not goth. It's really completely funny trying to convince anyone that when I'm looking at a red light and a black cat, and I can laugh at myself sometimes because that's so cliche. So guess what? I'd like to thank the lovely person who relieved me of some of my belongings while I was in the hospital. And hi. I know, right? What's that, Barbina? Jacqueline, oh, Barbina, how I love my little ballerina. Pirouette. Yep. It's him. H-Y-M-N, him. And Amy Tail. And I'm not going to sing about the people who broke in and relieved me of my belongings, including my father's wedding ring. And most of the money I had on. Anyways, I'm just pissed about that because it was very specific and I don't know. But they left me this wonderful light bulb, and they left me my red light and my broken elephant lamp, which was broken already, but they ransacked stuff, and that was also nice, huh? They didn't steal my piano. They didn't steal that green light or this step stool with the flaccid bottle of Sierra Mist that they also didn't steal because, you know what? It was a gift. They left it here because I don't drink that. So, what do you know? Thank goodness. Try to find a gift in everything. They didn't steal Amy's backup boomf, which is like her big stripy stuffed boomf that's in there with the kittens. It's something that isn't as treasured as her main boomf, which is tiger striped. Yes, I know they have backups of the backups. They didn't steal these masks that the cats have since fought, but so here's what's up. It's almost 4 in the morning. Yes. What? Tell me about it. Amy? Amy, baby. Baby Amy, tail interrupted, tail. We interrupt this tale to bring you a very important kitten. Her name is Amy. Nope. I'm not reading baseball tarot, not yet, but it's possibly a niche market. I'm sure somebody's already thought about it. In fact, they probably already have the collector's edition of baseball tarot. What do you think about that? What about boxing tarot? They probably have everything. In fact, everything under the sun, the moon, the stars. In fact, they probably have tarot cards with the sun, the moon, and the stars on it. Do you ever think of that? There's a concept for you, Pepper. Here's what my cats have done to my blinds again. Let's explore this. Crackheads, cats, and they think that, yes, they think that we have drug problems here because of things that go bump in the night, like that. And you're washing your vagina on the internet. I know. Don't look so smug, you look like your mother. Speaking of mother-daughter problems, Amy and Estrella have been fighting. Estrella's upstairs with the Zizzle, and they've been sequestered in my crazy mom's bedroom. Something's wrong with the Wi-Fi, So I'll either have to drive someplace by cover of night like McDonald's. I don't have to go by cover of night, but I just don't want to be there in my giant Technicolor Dick Tracy car dealing with daytime traffic just to utilize their high-speed Wi-Fi, right? However, it's a pain. It is a pain waiting in, as much as I on one end of things am talking about how much I'd miss the days of anticipation in a good way, waiting for letters or a library book that you really wanted and had to wait for other people to borrow. The shit end of the stick would be waiting for stuff to upload when you want the instant gratification of 5G and I don't know, whatever my OK Boomer ass translates MPBS to mean. This is what pisses me off. Whoever decided to, this is why it's personal, whoever decided to relieve me of some of my belongings also decided to utilize my candle holders for an ashtray, and I believe that's a Newport, but I don't know. I don't smoke anymore. I don't drink anymore. I don't fuck anymore except wanting to fuck people up because I'm not that blissful bitch that's all like, let karma take care of itself. I am, but I'm not. And part of me just wants to use their anus for an ashtray because my dad's wedding ring was on my dad's hand for all my life until he died, and then it was on mine, and why did I take it off? It's just a thing, you know, things can be replaced. It's not a person. So here's part 2, I guess, partly part 2. Part 1.5 B dash 24-04 2021. I don't know. Where were we when the lights went out? Oh, but there's so many that keep going out. They go out all the time. Oh, yeah. How nice they put the lamp askew, too. I think my grandpa went more pale than his Polish-Hungarian ghostly picture already was. Oh, how nice that they left my sunglasses. So that was sweet. I had those. I got those in Los Angeles when I was just a teenage ingenue. How sweet of them to do that. They broke a couple statues and all, but they, he, she, it, he, shit. I don't know. Pronouns. I don't give a fuck what their pronouns were because they broke into my house. Felis. Hello. And which panther are you? And which panther are you? It's Jacquelina, ooh, badabina, how I love my little ballerina. Do, 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 do. So, let's see, where do I begin? I would love to continue telling the truth. People already overshare too much on the net, right? The net, the web, the intersewer. It's been a trend for people also to be moving off of it, which is good because it's not natural, but at the same time it helps ease our loneliness. I was watching something on Creepshow Arts channel about Tumblr and how early Tumblr, before it turned into a super cesspool, was a great resource for niche interests. And I remember that I didn't have a Tumblr then. I don't know when I got mine. But I do have a crackhead panther. Would you like to see? This is why they think The cops in this city think that we are crackheads because it's 4 in the morning and there's little velvety black paws ripping through the blinds, and I'm a terrible parent. Ow! 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 That is my white, pasty, fleshy, middle-aged woman flank. Do not paw that. I honor the paw, and I love the paw, but when the paw has the claw, you don't know. Who is this? Who is this? Is that him? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Who sent you? Who sent you? It's too dark in here and I can't tell you. I believe that was him. Him. Shit. Yeah, that was him. Hymn. Him. Oh, that hurt. Like, fuck. Anyways, I was watching Creepshow Arts channel, and I really like her channel. But I was talking about the internet, and that and another thing that I was watching yesterday / today. It's just how the upside, I think, of YouTube, of the internet, of earlier Tumblrs. I don't know if anyone's as ancient as me and remembers LiveJournal. I still have one. Being able to connect with people who had your quirky interests. And that was awesome. That is awesome. It divides the loneliness. I made an earlier video I may not upload yesterday morning when I was in my mother's room for the first time since she's not been in this house and no, she's not deceased. I almost was. She's not, I'm just sometimes a really big pussy, and I hate that, but at the same time, I don't want to be the person who vanquished my own mother. Anyways, I was going on about, like, the same theme of the upside of the internet and it being something that can bring people together for good, but at the same time that weird intimacy can also be really, like, I can say devastating if you're there at your 4 in the morning moment and you're vulnerable and it's night on earth everywhere in your head and you're making your playlist or something and you comment or you're whatever on something and you're in your most vulnerable skin, maybe, and somebody anonymously, even though you're anonymous too, relatively, if you're not, on your channel with your face and all your information hanging out, doxing yourself if you say something and immediately, or not immediately, maybe months later, someone swipes back with something acidic and harsh. It can probably be devastating if they get you in the wrong moment. And who knows? It could just be immobilizing. You may never see it at all if you have more of a life outside. I don't know. But I've just been thinking about how much I want to really reveal about something so that maybe I can help someone else out that's going through their own weird journey of loneliness and or creepiness of surreal life things happening, and how much I really want to out my own ongoing peculiar situations, because the people around me that I do consider touchstones for sanity or of sanity. Okay, I hate to admit it, but I can't find my reading glasses or my seeing since I broke my regular phone that I use, and I'm using this iPhone the size of Smurfette's mini pad, this SE,
and I'm not usually an iPhone user. I just realized I'm looking right now. Oh, that's the back of a chair. Yes. First, I thought for a second, wait a minute, what the hell lampshade is that? What lamp is that? And when did we get it? Did somebody bring that in? Well, they sold something else too, like the Sierra Mist. It's getting that weird here. It's getting that weird. Thank you. That was perfectly punctuated. Which one were you? Of course, Amy. It was Amy who played that note. I might have mentioned it in my other videos, but I have Asperger's syndrome. I'm autistic. I didn't know that until I was in my 40s because that was one of the things my mom hid from me specifically. I wish I'd known it earlier. It would have explained a lot, and I probably would have socially gotten on with more help outside through therapies, and now I understand some of my behaviors and my social gaffes that are a little bit more than just, oh, she's been picked last for gym class, but like some of my little weird explosive meltdowns and things even now, and sometimes I just don't pick up on cues. But I always say Amy is my we're each other's co-autistic, codependent support people animals, because I always say she's on the spectrum too. But she has a little ukulele that I got her at the dollar store, and she plays it. She actually can play a certain, she plays it more than once. She's gone back to playing a certain melody line on that little ukulele. It's in our bedroom right now, though. I know I jump from topic to topic, and I don't know if I've really gotten any comments since I've started doing my just middle of the night story time-ish confessionals. I don't know if I've ever gotten a comment that was like, or an email that was from a guy. I didn't socialize well at all with girls growing up, or with women as a grown-up, even very often. The few female friends that I finally did make are awesome, solid friends, but it was not until my 40s that I finally was able to like connect with females that either didn't think I was a complete freak, or didn't think I was trying to steal, fuck, or play with their husband, man, boyfriend, brother, whatever. And I'm a very loyal person who's terminally monogamous, and I'm terrible at game playing, subterfuge. I don't do it. I don't know how to do it. Like, I just don't do it. I'm not a chess player with humans stuff. I'm stupid at it, and I get played with it, and I hate it, but I would rather be a good-hearted fool than an icy, clever person who wins stuff and hasn't got a spirit or a soul. However, I think it's awesome that I get emails or comments on this channel from other women who can follow my all over the place train of thought, or it makes sense to them, or they like my cat songs. I privated a couple of videos, but I really treasured a comment that I got from someone who's actually from my own state. Geographically, not, I don't know what state I'm from moment to moment otherwise, as far as state of mind, but she said she has a Norwegian forest cat and appreciates my cat songs, and that's good to know someone else does, because my poor partner, he's like, who are you talking to? Are you singing to them? Yeah. Of course. Who else am I going to be singing to in here? Ghosts? I don't actually have to talk out loud to be a medium. Ghosts. So anyways, my video before was kind of on the theme of the triangle of mental, emotional, social, and physical health, and how mine has been going to shit, and it shit shot itself a little further. And I'm not sure how much I want to get into the specifics, but I ended up getting myself into the hospital, not a mental hospital. This was actually, I had to switch one of my seizure meds and another med for depression because I ended up toxicifying my kidneys with one, and I don't know, something changed, and the antidepressant just wasn't working was the other thing, but with one of my anticonvulsants, and it was just, but I was in a really bad place, and I'm still not in a great place, but I can definitely feel a difference in my mood improving slowly, but yet not so slowly compared to, and I mean, I just got robbed. I just got the fundraiser that I had going to help me move. Everything that I got from that was taken off of a card that I had in my house. My new phone was taken that I just bought to replace the one that I with the broken screen. And in another, I'll do a story time if anyone wants to comment about a funny story time about how the universe showed me maybe I wasn't meant to get anything from Let Go, because it was just, I don't know, what's that expression about looking a gift horse in the mouth? It was, if something seems too good to be true, this battery is going to die soon, and I have to find a hole in the wall besides the one I live in now. Did you know that's a prosthetic fireplace? I bet you did. My mother bought it. And this was when I was in college, and I did not live here. I only lived here for a couple of years when my parents bought this house when I was 13. And I left at 15. And then I was like 20. Was I 20? Yeah, I was 20 right before I went to New York. So I just turned 20, and I came here for with a couple of friends for, I think it was for Thanksgiving, and my mom was very much don't drink, do not drink before you're old enough, do not drink, and God help you if you drink and drive. She does this even now. I haven't really had a drink in a long time, a few years, but I was, already like well into my late 30s, and she wouldn't let me. She'd take my keys after I had a beer with a pizza one time, and we had an argument, and I was already I was married for, 15 or 16 years at that point, and it was just like, are you serious? However, this time with the fireplace, yeah, it was ridiculous, but we were a little bit, my dad was a rather jovial person, and he was always try to get the wine in for himself so he could have a little fun. He'd get that damn prescription, Marion, and for my cholesterol. So he would always get some kind of, let my friends and I have some wine, and we had already been drinking before we actually came by, because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to, and we needed some kind of, and we had also been smoking some pot. Where did I get that so dated? I'm from the generation that says weed. The hell? Whatever, we were smoking in the car right before we came in, and then all of a sudden I walk in, and there's this fireplace, and I did not visit very often. I will admit my relationship was somewhat estranged and strained, especially before my brother died. Oh, I'm gonna have to plug in. And Amy,
discussed. And so yep. And if you only knew, as I stood up, here's what humanizes me. Yup, my pants just fell down when I stood up. Did you see that? That's my white pasty leg. So let's focus on Amy and her tail interrupted. I'm just gonna put this down in the most, this is the most like DIY-est ever because I'm overly real. If you love me that much ever, then hook me up with a manager, an editor, a cameraman, and someone to hook a Patreon together for me because I don't have the energy, but I'd love it. I'd love to be able to do what I love and write fucking songs again like I did, and I'm just trying to spackle it together. But hey, check that out. It's my leg, and it has pants on it again, and there he is. There he is. So, this fireplace was there, and I said to my oldest brother was still alive then, but he wasn't at that Thanksgiving. He was having one at his house, which did we go there next? I don't know. I don't remember. No, we did Christmas that year there. But I said to my next oldest brother, that's fake, right? Which, if you look at it now, it's all janky and ghetto fabulous. It has a little red light bulb too. Oh yes, I should have turned that one on, but I'd have to yank the plug over and get an extension cord. You know, make it our family trap house to go with the damn blinds, all whatever. Bring the suburbs to the city instead of bringing the city to the suburbs. Just tie them together. Whatever. So, but it's got a little like red bulb and little wood, and it's concrete. It's plastic. You know, it's plaster of Paris, and it's broken now because I don't know why. Cats probably, but ooh, the cats upstairs have stirred. I'm not goth. Please don't destroy the fake fireplace further, and absolutely don't let him HYMNP in it. Because Daddy says he pees in everything, but I know that's a lie. I know. So, I'm like, Ronald, we didn't always have that fake fireplace, right? Because I was really baked and drunk. Not that I endorse this stuff. He starts laughing because he's only been stoned a couple times in his life, but the first time was hilarious. Putting a lampshade on his head going, this is not a hat. And he's like, no. How did it get here? And I was trying to figure out, because it had originally had a flickering bulb, and I'm easily tricked by smoke and mirrors when it comes to things like this, so go figure. The woman who talks to the deceased is tricked by smoke and mirrors. And that was our fake fireplace story. So today, while still wearing a hospital bracelet from my kidney and epilepsy affair, I ended up going to the mental place center that they recommended, which is what I don't want to talk about, but I'm going to talk about because sometimes you just have to say when you've had enough
of something and you have to ask for help. And I am not actually gelling with the therapist that I had been talking to for the last couple months. So I went to the center that they recommended, and I said, help, pretty much. And because I'm physically, it's a place that, helps you get, I need a caseworker or something. I'm too physically sick to get that and my mental shit together, and I'm a high-functioning Aspie bipolar person with a narcissistic mother and a tumor in my head. And that sucks right now because I'm not working at the moment. And there's a global panorama. And the kinds of work that I did do involved public appearances in many cases, private events that involved people, closed spaces, not like Spirit Box or Victorian type of, I didn't do seances or anything per se because that's not how it is, but I did do readings that involved face-to-face people coming in to my office, and my life was very high functioning only a couple years ago. But then my physical health and my mental health started to, and then my social health, all in that triangle, just started to turn into a very dilapidated octagonal blob. And I'm sad about that, but I'm sad in a way that is both below the equator of where I knew what sad was, and yet at times not enough energy to be what I could have called sad when I thought I knew what the baseline was for my regular moods. And then I have this negative force of my mom, who I love, who I want to love me, trash talking me to different relatives. And I used to be her golden child. I used to be the gifted one, and then suddenly I was the trouble child. And it's devastating because I thought so differently of my own mother. That's where that lipstick went. I thought, I don't know. I might be waxing about my own disappointments right now with her. But if somebody ever was going to shit talk my mother, I would not let them do that. And I wouldn't make blatant things up about it. And it's really screwed with me that my mom's lied so much about not just me, about so many things I didn't know, and I fell for it. And that's stupid and weak. That sucks. That really sucks. Because I'm not always gullible, but I'm a grown-ass woman. There are some things you should know better about. But when it's your own mom, Oh, my non sequitur thoughts. I'm looking at all this mail. And boy, I'm not the marketing mastermind type, but I'll tell you, Progressive really does their stalking. We've got something for the 3 people who live here now and 4 people that were living here before my boyfriend and I had to kick them out one of these days. I'll tell that story time when I feel like it's far enough away from me to not have that shit on my boots still. Liz, we can save you money. George, we can save you money. Rachel, we can save you money. Robert, we can save you money. All Progressive. And I wonder how much does this poor actress who has become Forever Flo, how much does she hate it? I mean, it's probably made her bank, but I don't know. I would probably just go off my nut more than I am on my nut. Off my nut on. I'd go nutless more than I'm nutless now. If I had to be locked into one role, if, like, I don't know what her background is. I'm sure there's a niche for that on the internet too, to stalk poor Flo or the actress who plays her, but she actually looks like someone I worked at a summer camp with named Tara Beth McMunion, if you meet her blonde, and she was a theater major. She actually did all this Shakespearean stuff and ended up going to New York for a master's degree, and I don't know. Just like, I'm trying to imagine if you like went to Juilliard and then you did all this like stuff and serious theater, but you had to pay your bills, and all your snotty professors and everything were like, oh, and so you're the one who works in commercials now, selling insurance. Because people are like that. I hid it for the longest time. I hid it until like a couple of years ago that I ever signed a recording contract, because it was such a big deal to not be a sellout. And I didn't even, I ended up letting them buy me out of it, wanting them to buy me out of it, because I didn't want to sell my soul. And they wanted me to do stuff I didn't want to do. Just be, it's like my whole life I was kind of being told, well, be yourself, but just a little less. And then what the very same self qualities was that I was supposed to turn down in some ways in my life up until being 19 or 20, the recording industry wanted me to be but a little bit more, only with a little sexiness in it. Basically, be the crazy hot girl, be edgy, be crazy, be a little smart, show your tits, use big words, turn that part up a little if you could. Be exactly the girl that you are, but these parts more and these parts less, and I couldn't do that. So I mean, I could have, and I probably could have made a year and a half of a career in the 90s work for me to invest off of more than what I actually invested my buyout money with, but I couldn't like live with myself. But I hid the fact that I even signed a couple of, I didn't want people to know that I did voiceover work or jingles, because people, that also comes from stuff with the way my mother was so, don't let people know, what do people think, or don't sound like you're. My dad had to promote himself for his job because he was in politics, he was in labor relations, he was running for office for half of his every few years to keep his job. And I had to do the same thing if I was going to be, I had to shake hands with people. I had to introduce myself, and my mother would make fun of me for it. But behind my back, she'd be like talking about, oh yeah, my daughter is a radio psychic. She's on it every morning, Friday morning. She does astrology on, and I'm so full of mixed messages. My triangle is still, I'm still trying to pound it somewhere between a trapezoid, a rhombus, trying to get it back into the right geometry. Social, mental, emotionally, physically. And I'm really putting off talking to a surgeon again, because I'd already put off my tumor, and my mom's got cancer. I feel like I'm being a dick. The way she said I'm preempting her cancer by having this tumor. And fuck everyone in the face with a chicken bone, a big fucking brontosaurus bone that has to tell me at least this isn't cancer that I have. Because it still sucks that it's fucking with my balance. It still sucks that I can't see. It still sucks, and I whine and I whine and I whine because I'm so blessed too. I'm so blessed. I have a beautiful relationship. So what a fucking kook I am. I know, I'm just holding this camera while I talk, thinking, well, you might be bored. I'm not pretty. I'm not young. I'm not fascinating. I don't have TikTok editing, and I am focusing this right up the ass of an air freshener. I am very blessed. They didn't burn my house down, whoever took my stuff and my money. And ironically, as I'm looking at this air freshener, I'm looking, and I'm so glad I don't have smell-o-vision yet. I mean, I love the technology we have. I really do. I'm glad I lived this long for it, but for fuck's sake, I'm glad it didn't get to smell-o-vision yet, because somebody just used the litter box, and this cached air freshener is really cached, so it's not working. It's really not working. And I do have a little oil burner going on here to get the smell of strangers having been in my house. Hey, it's me holding me in my hands. Yay. And wow. I need 1,000,000 more oil burners for whatever cat just oh man, I'm glad we don't have smell-o-vision. Ooh. So I'm gonna have to go upstairs, check on my renegades, Zizzles. Actually, they're just hiding from the next generation, like everybody does. I'm really mad. I mean, not super really mad, because once you've lived this long, if you can't really differentiate between what's worth getting really, really mad over, or really, really scared, or really disappointed, and what's just like, man, really, geez. And this is more like closer to the latter. But I was counting on having that money, and you don't really count on somebody getting into your home while you're busy being in the ICU. That's a dick move, and I know it. I don't live in a bad neighborhood at all. That's why I think it was personal. It had to be somebody who knew where it was, and it's not like I was running myself all over the internet saying I didn't, hey, I'm in the hospital. Nobody knew that. Like I wasn't social mediaing it. Now I'm supposed to wake up my boyfriend for work that he's doing on for a friend of his, because thank you, Panorama. Corona was a side of Lyme disease and all that. What are they going to do, demonetize me? Demonize me? My family's already done that for me. Which reminds me, hopefully my little brother is going to have responded to me, because I just put a message out to him on Messenger, and when I did that, it was 22 hours since he'd last been active. And I really hope he doesn't think I'm a fuck up, but I'm afraid he does. I haven't seen him since before my dad died. Blah. And I should message Gay Goat. Gay Goat is my friend.
He's a Capricorn and he's gay, therefore gay goat. Understand? Good. We're clear. Oh, Amy Tail interrupted. Her kittens are so beautiful. They're so stripy and they're so serene. I picked one of them up and he is so beautiful. And I keep thinking about moving. I really keep thinking about moving to Texas. And that was the first one I picked up when he was born, and he's the first one I picked up today to kiss. And he's so fat, so stripy, and I named him Austin. I don't know what the other three are named, but Northeast Ohio, if you're good-hearted and you need a stripy kitten, you better hit me up, because Amy Tail interrupted. Oh, and he has a tail interrupted just like his mother. I got a baby with a tail interrupted, a tail interrupted, a tail interrupted. I got a baby, she got tail interruptus, tailus interruptus, tail interrupted, a tail interrupted, tail interrupted, tail interrupted, tail. We interrupt this tale to bring you a very important baby named Amy. That's you. You're Amy. You're Amy Taylor. Taylor. I was also mad because the phone that was stolen had a bunch of recordings of actual songs I was working on with arrangements with multiple, like there was a Mellotron on it, a recording line, and a B3, like other instruments, other piano stuff. I mean, like not just me singing to cats is what I'm saying. And I didn't have them backed up to the cloud yet, not all of them. And also there were like writings in there that were just, stuff that was mine. I thought it was safe. Nothing is safe in this world except what you carry around in your heart and your head. Remember that. That's not to say nothing is safe or sacred. It's saying the things you keep are what you take with you, in you. So don't hold on to stuff. Be careful with currency, I suppose. Don't just decide to let your anticonvulsants shit out whenever. Oh, did you hear that crash? Is it ghosts? No, they don't like to be referred to as ghosts. Sometimes it's insulting. It's like, I don't know. It's like using the wrong colloquialisms, or it's spiritually racist. But those were my fucking panthers, my naughty little cats. My naughty little cats, I say. I love my naughty little cats, but I hope they didn't break any new fucking things. So we're going on almost 50 minutes, 50. What do you see in the light of the light? It's my oracle. It's scrying by red light, see? Decide what you need to keep, what you want to keep, when your world is burning down. And take those things and tuck them in behind your ribs, under your skull. Don't let anyone see. Maybe only God. That way no one can take them from you. Remember everything you don't want to forget. Forget what you don't want to remember. And those are what are yours. No one can have that. Your father's wedding ring. Your grandmother's perfume. Everything but your money. And that is yours. And no one will won't take that from you.